It's the first time we all see Cruel today. If I try and find PVs. We have Jazz in third place on this map with a 41.44. And Chili is in ninth with a 41.62. So less than 0.2 between the PVs of the two players in this match. Should be a close one. I'll make sure to check it out then, yeah. Alright. Into the first round, Chili's map pick. Cruel by Alicat, featuring Zepna. Technical Gear 3 map. See similar starts from both players. Jazz with about a 10.5 lead. Both get clean overslides. Gap staying quite similar. Jazz going a bit more inside. Will gain a bit of time. But going into the last turn of the map, Jazz with a 0.35 lead will hold it to the line and we'll get a 41.7 first round. That's quite respectable time. Be tough for Chile to try and beat that if Jazz is able to do it consistently. This time Chile risking the inside a bit more. Which is a bit further outside here. We'll get a bit more exit speed out, but so far Jazz with a 0.1 lead. She'll grow to about 0.2. Both players going nice and inside there. Jazz just pulling away. This could be a really fast time again. 0.5 maybe? Yep. Okay, so 41.5 already. Jazz showing the pace. He's not here to mess around. It's, yeah, within 0.2 of WR. I mean, it's like 0.16 off WR. So very impressive stuff from round 2 from Jastastic. This time Jazz with a bit of a larger lead, almost half a second going into the second half of the track. Chile with a more inside line will gain a bit of time back, but is more inside for the setup, which will force him a bit wider. And he won't close too much into the gap. And Jazz will drive it for round win number 3. Very impressive consistency so far from Jazz. Only 41's being driven. It is one of the easier maps of the map pack. But still very impressive consistency. Jazz being more inside here. Keeps it on the road. Both players with a good overslide. Jazz with a slightly more inside entry. Chile holding it more inside the whole way around though. Although so far it looks like Jazz will be ahead this round. Quarter of a second lead is growing. And again, looks 0.7 pace. 0.6, yeah. Very impressive. I mean, if you're Chile here, I mean, Jazz is reguing very close to your PB, if not faster. It's doomed. No matter what you pick against Jazz, unless you're one of the top players, you're you're going to struggle to find a round against him. It's really impressive so far today. Got to throw more inside line that time round. Seems to not be too beneficial. Chili pushing this inside. Gets it clean. Has to do a bit of a steer release to avoid the wall. She'll ship 0.2 in Jazz's favour. Chili going inside early. Trying to get a good exit SD, but Jazz will stay ahead and is again on this 0.7, 0.6 pace, but goes a bit wide. But it's still enough for the round win. Yeah, Jazz is locked in on crawl, it seems. 0.8 being the slowest winning time so far, and even then it's not too much of a slow time either. I mean, it's within half a second of WR, so very impressive. This time Chili getting the more exit speed out of the start. Has a small lead over Jazz of about half a tenth. Jazz having to do some releasing, but will be more inside for this turnaround. Can Chili hold the gap? It's a very close round so far. Chili entering more inside, Jazz with a more outside line. Both players on similar exit lines. Jazz gets a slightly better exit SD and gets a really nice apex and will take the round win. That's another 0.8. Again, this is the slowest of round winning times we've seen. It's 0.8. I mean, it's 6-0 in favour of Jazz. It's a long way back for Chili here. Jazz with the more inside line. Chili with the airtime line. Gets a more inside line here as well. But Jazz seems to be on a fast time so far. Chili, unfortunately, pushing. Will touch the inside and will lose a lot of time. Jazz getting a really nice apex the whole way around. Good exit SD. Very nice inside line. Close it out with a 70. That's, I mean, very impressive. The slowest time Jazz drove was a 41.8. I think it was 2 41.8s, and the rest were 0.7, 0.6, 0.5. Very impressive stuff. 7 consistent rounds of just, yeah. Unfortunately for Chili, Jazz's slowest time was faster than Chili's fastest. Which isn't to knock Chili's speed on the map, but yeah, Jazz consistently within half a second of WR. It's very impressive. Yeah, Shiku, I'm going to be casting Opal versus Ramoon in like an hour. So that'll be fun. But before that, we're going to have to see whether Jazz can continue the performance that he did last match on this map, Slinky, by Mao and Hank. It's a very convincing win over Mahal by the Australian. And there he is. It's unfortunate earlier, Mahal. I think Jazz has woken up pretty strong today. Had a very impressive first map against Chili. And it's now going on to map number 2. Jazz with a more inside line. Will be up about a quarter of a second. Chili really pushing that inside. But has a bit more of an awkward line going into the downhill. Will eat some of the snow on this uphill as well, which will cost him some time and unfortunately loses the gear. Which leaves Jazz to close out the round as long as he keeps it on the road. Which he seems to do pretty well. First round time is a 49.1, sorry. It's pretty impressive. Yeah, you know, he was discovering Icy Campaign earlier, Al. He's like fully locked in. It's not the pace which is really surprised me at all. It's just the consistency of how often Jazz is hitting such insane times, which is, yeah, more impressive to me than the pace itself. A lot closer this round though. Jazz getting a bit of a better uphill, but only 0.2 in it. Chili pushing a more inside line. Keeps the gap close. Gets a really nice inside here as well. Is going to be close to Jazz. Jazz going a bit wider. Will have a bit more speed into the finish, but it won't be enough for Chili to take it. It will be Jazz extending his lead on this map. 2-0. Chili a bit wider in the start. Tries to carry a bit more speed. She does. And gets a slightly better line out than Jazz, although he's a bit wider here. Will carry more speed into the setup for the uphill. And Jazz dropping some tyres onto the snow will cost both gears, being gear 1 for that section of the map, which gives Chili a huge lead, as long as Chili doesn't slide out or make any other mistake. It will be the round win for the Dutch player. Clocking in a mid 49, respectable time. Very respectable. PBs on Slinky. Jazz with a 0.70, now 48.70 is second. Chili has a 49.0 and is in 7th. Chili going inside earlier will lose out on a bit of exit speed compared to Jazz, but will be able to push a bit further left for this setup. And it's going to be a very close round so far, only half a tenth between the two players. Jazz apexing early, Chili later, try and gain some exit speed, doesn't manage to. Within a tenth of a second going into the last two turns, Chili gets a more inside line, Jazz going a bit wide, but Jazz with a bit more speed, and will hold off Chili with a 0.0. I mean, if you're Chili, I mean, you do a really good time, like a 49.1, and it's just slightly not enough. So close, it's a really good push. But hopefully they can keep up the pace onto this next round. Although Chili has dropped back a bit in the start, losing out a couple of tenths to Jazz. And we'll take a bit of penalty snow. We'll keep the gear though, but it's looking like a half-second gap at least. Make it 0.8. And maybe with the extra mistake in the back, it looks like the player from the underqualified will be taking the round with a 0.1 of his own. Extending the lead 4-1. This is map 2. If Jazz can get three more round wins, he will close out the match. But Chili's definitely had the pace as well. Getting a good SD. Within a tenth of a second, the two players. Going into the downhill. Jazz will get less penalty. Chile gets a more inside line, gets a better SD. Though Jazz will start the slide sooner, so he'll gain a bit more time back. But it's only a tenth between the two players as we go into the second last slide. Jazz with a bit of a better angle will take the round with another 0.0. Impressive driving from both players. Five to 1, but if you're Chile, it must be really disappointing not winning rounds with a 0.1. I mean, against pretty much anyone else in the competition, a 0.1 will be getting you a round win comfortably. But Jazz, one of the strongest that have entered this, it's just not enough. This time it's a less close start as well. The Australian having almost a half-second lead in the first half of the track. Looking to put himself on match point. Yeah, there we go. It was only a matter of time. Jazz dropping a 0.8 in rounds, like he did earlier. I mean, that's fast enough for third world. And if Jazz didn't have his own PB, then it would be second world. So, super impressive. Close between the two players on Jazz's first match point. Very even starts. Jazz entering a bit more inside. Jazz, Chile even entering a bit more outside. Will gain a bit of speed on the exit. But Jazz getting a really nice downhill, which sets up for this slow third gear uphill really well. And we'll have a 0.3 lead going into the last two turns. And that will be 7-1 in favour of Jazz. Two insane matches from Jazz. It'll be a 14-1, 14-1 scoreline for both of Jazz's games. Incredibly well played.